Tokyo, Japan. My name is Gary Verheller, and I'll be your host for what we call the Substance of Living podcast. Today, we'll look at what we call life's lessons. And I hope this will provide you with some insight, maybe even some inspiration to life's challenges. And welcome to episode 59, part 2 of Cowardice and Courage. And this time we're going to focus on courage. What is courage? Courage is bravery or valor or audacity or boldness. Courage and bravery are essentially the same thing. It's when a person can take action despite the fear they're experiencing. Now, please understand, I'm not just dismissing fear. Fear is actually a good thing. Fear helps you survive. Fear keeps you safe from danger. So fear is very important. And I'm not saying ignore fear, never. Rather, I suggest you acknowledge the fear, determine what needs to be done, and determine if that action can be taken safely. Then take that action. Courage, generally, I've found throughout my life that I have courage when it's based upon principles. It's based upon honorable action. In fact, samurai talk about Bushido, and in Bushido, the 3 pillars of Bushido is bravery, which is courage, honor, and integrity. Let me give you an example. When I was a liquor store manager, it was a Saturday night, and these gang members came in. And they were pretty dangerous guys. I thought they were armed. And they came in, and they were drunk, and we refused to serve them. And 2 of the guys I had, the guys that worked at the liquor store, was all of them were athletes from the university. Mostly football, some baseball, but I mean big guys. And these gang members were relatively small in comparison to these athletes. And 2 of the athletes grabbed a guy, used his head as a battering ram, opened up the front door, and threw him out into the parking lot. I was in the back. I came up and said, "What's going on?" They explained to me what happened. And I looked around and I said, "Where's Frank, my best friend?" Now, he also was an athlete. He was a college wrestler. He almost made the Olympics, college wrestler. And somebody said, "He's outside with the 2-wheel dolly," which is what we would put a keg on and wheel it out to the customer's car, and then we would help them in, because it's very big. So I said, "Damn," so I ran outside. And the friends of that gang member, 2 of them were facing Frank. Frank had 2 cars on either side of him. He was in between the 2 cars and holding that 2-wheel dolly like this, facing 2 guys with knives. I'm not a fighter. I've taken karate, I've taken judo, but I've never really had to use it. And I came running up behind him and I said, "Frank, you all right?" He said, "Yeah, I'm fine." I said, "Jesus, I don't know what I can do here." And he said, "Just keep them off my back." And at that time, one of my other friends, Bill Hammertree, he came out and he said, "Cops are on their way. You guys better leave." And they all ran off, went into their car. I didn't even think about being brave then. I just thought that Frank was out there in danger and he's my friend and I couldn't abandon him. So courage is based upon, I think, good courage is based upon principles, doing the right thing, honorable action. It takes courage to speak truth to power. It takes courage to acknowledge the fear and accept it and do what needs to be done. I've worked with astronauts, and it took me almost a year to build up my courage to actually tell them no. or to tell them I thought this was a bad idea, this is a better idea. because I have such great respect for them. And it took me about a year to realize they want me to be honest with them. They want me to tell them what I know about either presentations or working with the media. They wanted that. And it was my duty, honorable action, to inform them, to help them deal with communications, with presentations. I also work with CEOs and presidents and my clients. For example, I had a client that wanted me to teach business writing skills and presentation skills. And I said, fine, we should have two separate. They wanted to put them together. So I said, okay, I should have said no. And they said, and we'd like to make this every other week. That means 1 week, they get the class, the next week, no class, the third week, class. And I said, no. I had to say no. In fact, I had to turn down the contract because I realized that was not in the best interests of the student and would not serve the company. Simply because 1 week on, 1 week off, 1 week on, 1 week off of training, they wouldn't retain as much. They would forget. And the third week, so first week, class, second week, no class. Third week, we'd have to review what we did in the first class. We'd lose time. And then I'd have less time to introduce new information, new skills, new techniques. So I said, no, we need to keep this consistent. In a perfect world, it would be every day for 5 days a week. And they said, well, we can't do that. I said, all right, then at least once a week, ideally twice a week. So it takes courage to speak truth. We all want to be liked. That's true. Yet at the same time, we need to be honest and do the honorable thing. As I said, with samurai, Bushido, they talk about bravery, which is courage. Honor, doing the right thing. And integrity, that means doing what you say you'll do. A man is only as good as his word, they say. Well, take a breath. Consider the fear that's causing you to stop from taking action. Determine what needs to be done. What's the honorable thing? What's the right thing to do? And take action. I think you'll feel a lot better. Thanks. Thank you for joining us today for the Substance of Living podcast. If you'd be kind enough to consider subscribing, you can contact us through Spotify or Apple Podcasts or connect on Twitter. Join us again next time for what I hope will help you navigate life.